Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope everyone is having a good day so far. I went to a meeting, of course, last night, and they were talking about, the surrender to victory. There's a victory in surrendering. And a lot of people were just talking about how, their whole life they were definitely struggling with it. And I can 100% relate to that. I can say that, I had a hard time even just admitting that I was an alcoholic because I always did everything myself. I can do this myself. I don't need anybody's help. I don't have a problem. You're the one with the problem, and that just goes into like the whole powerless aspect of it. I really, really struggled just saying that I was powerless over something, and it was very hard for me in the beginning, even just to admit it, that I had an issue and I had a problem. So finally getting to that point of surrendering was just, you just finally have to get to a point where you can't do this anymore. For me, it was, the point that I was about to get fired from my job. I had crashed a car, I'd fallen and hit my head, and, my husband had knew at that time, back when my heaviest drinking, that I had a problem, and we tried to work on it together, but that didn't work, of course. So I had to claim defeat. I had to go to treatment. I had to go to rehab to help deal with it. And once I was in there, it was definitely very eye-opening. Just kind of going through all the aspects of the addiction all the way up through. So for me, that was at the point of like desperation. Like I can't keep going. I can't keep doing this. And then for me, it was, I had like multiple lives that I was living. I would have like my home life where I would tell lies to my husband, I would tell lies to my family, I would tell lies to the people that were surrounding me every single day. And then I would have my work life where I was lying at work, telling stories once again to, anybody who asked, and it was really, really difficult to remember what I told to who, just because it was, they were all just completely false, like just completely false lies. And it was very difficult to try and remember them all. And then I then had, of course, my third life, my drinking life. How am I going to get my next drink? When is my lunch break? What can I say to get out of work early? Where can I go? Who can I convince? And it was so exhausting, like having three multiple lives to try and squeeze into my brain, let alone like you're just normal daily stuff like, oh, the electric bill's due, or I gotta go this because it's so and so's birthday, or just like all of your normal daily living on top of everything else. Like it was just really was unmanageable. Like, and I would forget stuff, things wouldn't get done. It was just an absolute disaster. And so for me, just surrendering was such a relief. It really was just such a relief because I didn't have to have that third life anymore. Mending a lot of the stuff that I did definitely takes a long time, and it's still going to continue to take a long time. But just the fact that I don't have to think about that life anymore is such a relief. So that way I can then focus on, it's this person's birthday party, so we gotta go get a gift for them. Or, my son has homework tonight, so we gotta make sure we do his homework before he goes to bed. And like just your normal daily living without having to stress about, can they smell it on my breath? Do they know that I've been drinking? Are they gonna go in the closet and find it? Like those things that just really get me worked up, And I'm just glad I don't have to do that anymore. I'm glad I don't have to get upset if someone wants to go get a towel out of the linen closet if they're not going to find all the bottles that are stuffed in there. It's like those things. It's so exhausting. It really is so exhausting. And like I said, just that taking that out of my brain is amazing, that I don't have to do that anymore, and I can just focus on my life and my family. So surrendering is a victory. And I know it sounds like it's a negative thing, like, oh, I have to admit this, I have to accept it. But you know what? That's not that bad. It's who cares? Like some people, they just know that they are diabetic and they have to monitor their blood sugar, and they know that they can't eat certain foods and they need to cut back on the carbs and whatever whatnot. And or someone who's lactose intolerant, like they're not going to keep drinking milk because they know it's going to make them sick. But someone who's an alcoholic, they're just going to keep drinking to go back and do it again tomorrow, you know? So it's the acceptance of it. Like, I can't do it. You know, I can't have just one. I have an allergy to it. It causes terrible things to happen to me, my brain, my body. And I just can't do it anymore, you know? And there's a lot of people that live their life alcohol free. There's a ton of people that do that, and their life's okay, you know? So why can't I make that adjustment? Why can't I live that life as an alcohol free life, you know? It doesn't have to be that difficult. So it was a good topic. I enjoyed it. You know, it definitely made me think, you know, like, surrender doesn't always have to have such a negative connotation to it. You know, it really is just the fact that, like, I need someone to help me with this because I can't keep doing it myself. And I'm not the one to ask for help, but this one I really, truly needed help on it. So I hope everybody else gets to have a good day. And, you know, this week's a little rough. It's a little exhausting. But, you know, you just kind of have to grind through. Sometimes we have to do things we really don't want to do because our lives require us to do them. But, you know, it's going to be a good week. And I hope everybody else gets to enjoy their day.